Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's that time again, folks. Time for the world famous motion picture Retribution Power Hour, presented to you by the illustrious Evening Brothers. Take it away, band. Welcome to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour, the only podcast on the internet that's hosted by three white guys, and we talk about movies. I am your host, Brother Lincoln, and I'm really bringing the fire today because Preston has somewhere to be, and we got to get this done quick.
Whoa.
And I am also a host in some form or another, Brother Preston, and I apparently have somewhere to be tomorrow.
And I am also on fire. I am Brother Jon. Please help. I'm on fire. Send help. Send the police. Send the fire department. My whole body and my bones
John,
are on fire.
I'm sorry. We have a podcast to record, so we cannot.
I get it. No, it's fair. It's fair. That's the deed that I signed. The agreement that I signed in the copywriting, in the underwriting, was if I am on fire, I have to finish the episode before I'm allowed to put myself out.
You have to finish the episode no matter what.
Yeah, that is what
So let's
I knew
make
that
this
going
a
in.
rather quick one. What's the nature of the flames? Or are they? What color are they? Just to get a danger level.
Yeah, no, it's a fire.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch like that.
Oh, okay, good to know. Let me
Yeah.
consult my chart really quick.
Please do.
It says you are in no danger at all. Okay, we're good.
That's interesting because all my skin and stuff doesn't feel like that's true.
Well, the chart, the handy, the handy dandy guide for podcasting while on fire, parentheses, co-hosts applicable, and parentheses, says that you're fine.
Okay, see, I'm looking at the video, and they can't see this, but I can see you're just looking at kellybluebook.com, and you've found out what a Honda Civic from 2006 would cost. So I don't think you're really doing the research I need.
John, I've got a solution for you. Why don't you go ahead and just turn your camera off, and then we
So you don't
can't
have to
see that
watch?
you're on fire, so therefore you're not on fire.
Yeah, if I can't see you, you can't see me rules. That's a classic. Hey, I have an idea. What if we do the shortest podcast episode ever? Daredevil, good. Elektra, dog shit. End of podcast. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour.
Oh, we had homework to watch Daredevil, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, but you didn't do either of the things. You didn't do the real work or the homework.
Preston.
Hey, I watched the movie that we were supposed to watch long before Lincoln watched it, and he was the one who proposed
January, Preston. That doesn't qualify as having
So?
watched it for the podcast.
I watched it and said, "Oh, I'm totally gonna make John and Lincoln watch this," and then Lincoln stole
said,
it from me.
Great.
Lincoln said, "Hey, you should watch this,"
it.
and you said,
His
no.
greasy little
Nope.
fingers reached inside my brain and just stole it from me.
Ew.
Preston, how did it feel? How did it feel when my greasy little fingers? Because I'll just
Okay,
go back on the
so
table.
never
I kind
ever
of
in
enjoyed
the
it.
history of ever say that ever again.
You know what? I'm gonna be totally honest with you, Lincoln. I was very, very excited when you said that we were going to discuss this movie, because I am very excited to discuss this movie with you guys.
I'm also very excited to talk about this movie.
And I, 3, am excited to talk about Daredevil. I can't wait to talk about that.
So we watched Elektra, which is supposedly a sequel to Daredevil. Apparently, the two of us watched Elektra recently, and one of us saw Elektra at some point. So I think he's
I watched
good
it
enough.
recently enough.
January.
You know,
It's March.
I had every intention of watching it more recently, but here
Preston,
we are.
I watched this.
Okay,
I
if you
finished
had
this
made
movie.
every intention, you would have seen it by now. Every intention, every single intention.
See, Lincoln, you're forgetting that you guys have made me do this podcast without even having watched the movie to discuss. So I'm already like a leg up over my usual self.
He's right. We set the bar too low. I agree.
Yeah, the expectation should have been that he watches the movies right before the podcast instead of before we even announce that that's the movie we're going to watch.
Preston, the problem that I'm having is I watched this movie probably 8 minutes ago. I finished it, and I already don't remember quite a significant portion of the runtime. So I don't know that in 3 months you're going to keep a lot of. You're not retaining a lot of that.
I took detailed notes, so
Good.
don't even worry.
Oh, I forgot to send my notes.
So-
I'll be fine. I didn't take any important notes.
Okay.
I tried to look for my notes from January, but they have mysteriously vanished. Unfortunately.
Oh, as if you took notes.
Yeah, you took the same amount of notes you always take. Okay, Lincoln, run us through really quick. What is Elektra about?
Okay,
This is an easy one.
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah,
this should be
what's
the
it
easy
really
one.
about?
Okay, so Elektra follows the story of Elektra, who is a villain in the Daredevil movie and kind of a side hero, anti-hero, mercenary kind of figure in Daredevil. And her presence in Daredevil is wonderful. And so she has a spin-off movie. She's playing an assassin. I like her in Daredevil, okay?
Okay.
Just because they shoehorned every important Daredevil character into one Daredevil. They didn't know they were going to get another one. And they didn't. So they were right. They were right to shoehorn Kingpin in the last 12 minutes of that movie. Okay, anyways. Elektra is played by Jennifer Garner. This movie came out in 2005. She plays an assassin who is on the job initially, the best of her kind, like the John Wick of 2005. And she is sent to this island in a very geographically suspect location because it doesn't make sense how it could be December where they are and the weather's really warm there, but it also seems very Nordic. I don't know where the island is, but she gets sent to an island to do a job. While she's on the island, she befriends a hot dad and his daughter. And what do you know? The people she's supposed to kill are the hot dad and his daughter. And she doesn't. She saves them from a bunch of ninjas that explode into green dust when they die in a really funny way.
All correct.
Like a video game.
Crushing it so far.
During this moment, during the moment where she's getting to know this dad and the daughter, I don't remember the dad's name. The daughter's name was Abby, I think.
I actually do know the dad's name. The dad's name is Mark Miller.
What's the dad's name? Mark Miller and Abby Miller. And
which is important.
The whole
We'll
time,
get to that later.
She gets there, and you think, is this what the movie is going to be? Is it going to just be about this? And it is. It is just about the dad and the daughter and her. The whole time, the Hand, who are the evil ninjas, are searching for the treasure. And the movie really, really wants to bait and switch you into thinking that the treasure is Elektra. But to literally nobody's surprise, if you were paying attention, even passing glances at the movie,
which I wasn't.
The treasure is actually Abby. Abby's the real treasure. And the real treasure also is the friends we made along the way.
Thanks.
So then they attack Abby and the dad, Mark, and Elektra. And Elektra never introduces herself as anybody except Elektra, which is really funny. I love that about her. And they attack, and she gets away. And then the main bad guy of the Hand attacks with his little series of superpowered minions. Elektra defeats them all. With the help of Abby, she defeats the main bad guy, brings Abby back to life after she was brought to death by a lady who brings death. And then the movie ends, and you think, really, that was it? And the movie's like, yes, it really was it. Was that a good plot summary?
Crushed it. Nailed it. 10 out of 10.
That was honestly flawless. I have nothing to add. I honestly, I am trying to like nitpick and make fun of you, and I can't.
Yeah,
Well done.
I'm like,
this is such a sweet moment we're sharing.
I think coming right off Scooby-Doo, I have this like, I don't know if it's jealousy or fear for your ability to do that, but I don't, or maybe it's just that Scooby-Doo was such an incomprehensible dog shit movie that like, I feel like there's so much pressure to recapturing a movie in a pretty quick amount of time, and you crushed it. So
well, thank you.
Yeah, no, just let's take a second to really sit in this moment. Good job,
thanks,
Lincoln.
yeah. This is the energy
shut
is
the fuck
so
up.
different.
Shut the fuck up.
Here's
You did a
the
good
thing,
job,
Lincoln. We can mess
podcast
this up
with you.
real quick. Hey, John, if you feel shitty about your movie choice, you should pick better movies to discuss.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I don't know that I'm going to, but
Preston's calling it like it is.
kind of a different energy than what I was bringing. I was trying to bring like a brotherly sort of care.
Yeah,
for each
I
other
saw that. I felt like we sort of hit the crest of the wave of
Sure.
the brotherly love, and I had to bring us
and you
back
decided
down
to
earth a
shoot the
little
wave
bit.
directly in the emotional head. That makes sense.
Precisely.
Yeah, can we talk about how this movie is an Elektra movie for about 8 minutes, and then it decides that it isn't anymore, and she just stops being Elektra, and then right at the end it's like, oh, maybe I was Elektra, but like the whole middle chunk of the movie, the middle hour and a half is mostly
it's
her
just drama.
It's drama, and it's even when there is action, it's like it's a very John Wick-ish, not John Wick, it's a very Ava-esque kind of thing.
Yes. It's like cut away from the action. It's all retreats. It's all get in the car and drive away. There's no car chases, though. It's just like car is safe. We're in car. Car go fast down road. Park at farm.
Car stronger than ninja, mostly, some of them.
A
lot of them.
Car stronger than almost every ninja.
Uh-huh.
I think, John, I agree that this movie starts as an Elektra movie and then it kind of becomes a nothing movie where we kind of putter around and talk amongst ourselves for a while. And then we get to the end and then it becomes an Elektra movie again. And as I was watching it, I was impressed because I thought, oh, you had a budget of probably like $18 million and you spent $17 million on the third act, and that's probably the right choice for an Elektra movie, right?
Right.
Like if any scene's going to be balls to the wall, if any scene's going to be super effects heavy and lots of stunts and lots of costumes and lots of set pieces, I would hope it's the third act. Then I scrolled to the Wikipedia page to look up details about this movie so I didn't misrepresent it. It had a budget of $65 million.
Whoa. Whoa.
Where did it go?
Wow.
Lincoln, the Green Smoke
Wowzers.
budget was astronomical.
Well,
how does it look so bad? Why is the CGI so dog shit the whole time? It had $65 million.
Is there a chance this is one of those situations where they had a script and then they rewrote the script about 45 million times and they had to pay each guy to write it differently and that was where most of the money went? And it just kind of got lost in the sauce?
I don't know. Garner did not want to do the film.
Yeah, I get it.
No surprise there.
Fair. You guys want to know what I'm fighting against right now? And I know I've said this before, I really want to talk about Daredevil way more than I want to talk about this movie. And it was our homework. But holy
Daredevil's
shit,
not
you
only
guys.
more interesting, it's also way better.
It's so much more discussable and enjoyable. It's better on every conceivable level. It makes me mad that I can't, like, I feel like I'm being held back just slightly. Like I can see it. It's within grasp, the Daredevil, but I'm not quite allowed to talk about it in the way that I'd like to engage with the movie. And I know.
Let's set up a safe space. Let's give you 30 seconds. I'll keep a timer. And in this 30 seconds, I want you to get as much as you feel about Daredevil out of the way, and then we can kind of put that aside. Ready?
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay, so it's hilarious that Ben Affleck sleeps in a sensory deprivation chamber. I love that so much. There's this weird melancholic nature to the movie that I think is so funny, and so because it takes itself so 100% seriously, and you absolutely cannot. Colin Farrell is a fucking treasure. He's a goddamn beautiful jewel in this absolute diamond of a movie. I love every second that he's on screen because he seems like this guy that just absolutely abhors everything that could be good or happy or good. He kills an old lady with a peanut in an airplane.
And that is time.
God. Oh, man. Okay.
How do you feel?
I feel better, actually.
Okay.
John, thank you for allowing us into the circle of trust and being willing to share your innermost feelings with you.
Thank you for building a circle around me. Wow. Okay, so you guys want to talk about Elektra? That actually
is
really
this
helped.
new positive podcast? Are we going to support each other? This feels so nice. I love this.
Yeah, this
Guys,
is good.
I feel like an asshole for shitting on John earlier now.
No, it's okay. You're right.
This is new.
It was true. I deserve a lot of this hatred.
Okay, let's go through. Opening scene
is good,
not
right? Like the first
terrible. Yeah.
The first action
Pretty
sequence
fun.
is fun. It's shot in a way. This whole movie, I will actually say, that is one thing about this movie that I mostly appreciate when it's not doing a flashback. It's shot in a way that's like the contrast is good. There are interesting shadows. Yeah. I think it's got this kind of comic booky nature to it, and I like that.
It's got an era. It's from the era where the panache was a given. Whereas it has to look moody. It has to look dramatic no matter what.
Yeah, it's got to have panache.
Like those boardroom scenes that are all just tungsten flooding in from the side all the time.
Yeah.
It looks like it's an eternal sunset. Given the villains only meet in one boardroom the whole movie, and it was clearly they shot that in a single day and just carted the people in and out with different costumes. I agree the movie looks good. The opening scene also is fun. I like that her costume is pretty comic accurate overall.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, do you disagree?
No, I agree.
Okay.
I think it's good. I think for what this is in comparison to like how they handle the Daredevil suit, it makes sense in this world. It's a thing that I think fits. It's comic booky enough. Yeah, no, I like it. I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. I like when the bad guy says she cut him down like wheat. That was kind of badass.
It kind of
cool
it made
line.
me feel a little bit rebel moonish.
A little bit John Wickish, Rebel Moonish.
Yeah. It reminded me of Better
the
Days,
entrance is
where we got to watch grain cutting for 45 minutes.
45 seconds of slow motion grain shaking.
Yeah.
That's really what this movie
Shake-
needed,
Wait,
Shake
Preston?
that grain.
I feel so nostalgic for Rebel Moon.
Yeah, it's kind of
I feel like
fucked
it's
up,
a
isn't
movie
it?
from the good old days. I like miss it. I miss the days when the biggest thing I had to worry about was Rebel Moon.
It's
I got to worry
weird.
about like the EPA getting shut down and the Board of Education getting all fired. Like I used to just worry about Rebel Moon, and now I have to worry about the state of our country.
Lincoln, I feel like
Okay, anyways.
there was a sub fire to your fire that I hadn't quite picked up on until just now, and now I know what it is, and that makes a lot of sense. But you've got an edge to you this time.
Yes, I do.
I feel like this whole podcast is just going to be us getting really fired up about something and then being very supportive of each other, which is a very interesting vibe that I don't know what to do with at the moment.
Okay, I have a question for you.
We're going to turn
As we're
on each
talking
other
through
at
this
some
movie.
point, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm
There's
just
gonna be
counting down the
something.
seconds.
I hope
I'm
so.
arming myself behind my back. I'm stockpiling weaponry. I think, in terms of, I think Jennifer Garner is a great actor. I do not think a action star does Jennifer Garner make. I
Yeah.
think she cannot pull off the poses. She cannot pull off the like facial expressions. She cannot pull off the movements.
No.
Everything she does is so stilted and awkward in a way that's very similar to Ava, where you say, I respect your acting in dramas and in comedies and all this, but I cannot see her as an action star.
Yeah, the
Definitely.
movie itself, like we were talking about earlier, has so much like style and panache and like early 2000s like stank to it, and she just has the opposite of all of that, and it doesn't. She just
And to
doesn't really
John's-
fit in.
And to John's credit, Ben Affleck does have that.
Oh,
He
yeah.
can pose.
Yeah, baby.
Colin Farrell, hell yeah.
Colin
he could
Farrell.
do that.
Colin Farrell's got it all. Colin Farrell has my heart.
And even watching Daredevil, Jennifer Garner doesn't stick out as like super awkward in that movie. I think because she's just alongside other people who are committing so hard.
Not sure I will agree with you on that one. I think watching
Okay, fine.
Daredevil, the worst thing about that movie is the characterization of Elektra, and the second worst thing about that movie is the acting of Elektra.
And it's, I might concede that. I think I just have a soft spot for the like nerdy stupidity of Jennifer Garner's Elektra.
I mean,
in
sure.
Daredevil. And also, I guess I gotta say I have a soft spot for Jennifer Garner in 2004. But let's
You want to dig into
Let's
that
continue.
any further?
no. I mean, I feel like I
Cool.
made myself clear. and if you are, I don't think you watched the same movie that I watched. If you are confused at all about what I mean,
What movie are you talking about?
Elektra
Oh,
or Daredevil.
I will say, I did take a note, and I don't have it in front of me here, but I did take a note that I distinctly remember being like, what's the least creepy way of saying this movie gets 1,000 times better when she's wearing less clothes? Because it's like,
It's a correlation, not a causation. Is that
I'm
what you're
pretty
trying to
sure,
say? Or is it a
yeah.
causation?
No,
it
it's-
might be a causation, John.
it's-
You are
well,
a man.
It's like a it's not that though. It's like it's kind of it's not that, but it's not that. It's that there's a good costume on screen that I feel like helps a lot with the posing. There's it's kind of that. So anyway,
It's Jennifer Garner.
can we talk about each of these little guys that they have to fight? Or is this
Yes.
not the time for that? Because I really want
I don't really know when the times. We're still at the beginning. We're kind of talking about the beginning of the movie. Oh, before we get there, you mentioned the flashbacks, and I agree with you that the flashbacks are very heavy-handed
Yeah, they're
and
no
really
good.
stupid. But there were two flashbacks I liked, and I bet I'm going to get Preston's support on this. So we'll see. This might be the time we turn on each other. The first flashback is when she dives into the lake, and then she pops back up, and she's not at the lake anymore. She's in her old house from when she was a kid.
Okay.
And then she dives back underwater, and she like can't escape the memory, and so has to like keep trying. That was cool. And the flashback of the blanket being thrown over the empty bed, and then as the blanket falls, you see the like shape of a person underneath it. I thought it was very cool.
I like that one. Okay.
The blanket was cool.
Good. It does kind of the flashbacks do sort of fit a little bit better, I think, having seen Daredevil so recently, because that movie is just like a weird French art house movie sometimes, and I think that there's something so beautiful about that. And like that some of this, I think I'd seen Daredevil, and then I had watched Elektra in pretty not rapid succession. Watching them pretty much back to back, there is a through line that I hadn't totally noticed. And I think it works a lot better in Daredevil than it does in Elektra, but there is a thing to it that I can appreciate.
Now, unlike Ava, where the whole movie you were like, what is this going to end up being about? And then you get to the end, you're like, oh, it wasn't about anything. This movie is about something, but what it's about is just dumb.
Yeah, this movie's about stuff. It's just boring stuff.
It's just bad stuff that isn't interesting to watch.
You know what is funny? I love the bit where she's kind of taken it. It's very Ava-ish in the sense that she does a hit and then she's like, I'm gonna go fuck off to an island for a while, and then she gets another hit, and that hit is like the person, the dad and the daughter. It is so funny because she's connected with the daughter and the dad. They've done Christmas dinner, if I remembered the chronology correctly.
Yep.
It's so funny to me when she gets the hit order and she pulls out a long range bow and arrow. There's something about that. It's just like, what? In so many ways, what? Like,
why a bow?
A, your plan is to kill these people that you care about now. B, why with that? Ever.
You want to cause a Boromir situation? Do you want to have to shoot them 6 times so that they slowly bleed out? Like, oh, how are they killed? By a longbow. Okay, who brought a longbow onto this island? Because there's a ferry. There's probably customs. Elektra. Wait, is that her real name? The name that she goes by as an assassin is just her actual name?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you know? Because she told us her name was Elektra when we asked her.
She said, what's your name? She said, Elektra Nachios, the killer.
the assassin. And they're like, okay, well, don't kill anyone. And she goes, don't worry, I won't. And then
Pinky swears.
Okay. How do we feel about a white sensei? About just complete... It's just a regular white guy and he's a sensei and they call him sensei. Yeah. I don't love it. Well, I don't feel great about it.
It's not... The optics are not awesome. It is very dark, Batman Begins-y in a way that I think I'm not as comfortable with.
Yeah.
And now as I was when I first saw that movie.
Oh no, I just realized Ra's al Ghul is played by Liam Neeson.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, one of our many Liam Neesons has played Ra's al Ghul in that.
Yeah, wow. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, so just sit on that for a second.
Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling through this right now.
While Lincoln's chewing on that.
He says, rub your chest, your arms will take care of themselves.
Right, yeah, while Lincoln's chewing on that, I'm nice coat. While Lincoln's chewing on that, what other quotes do we know from this movie? While Lincoln is chewing on that, I do want to bring up a thought that I've just had, which is I'm bringing Daredevil. Yeah, while Lincoln's
you do all those push-ups and you can't lift up a bloody log.
Yeah, he's doing a little nosh, nom 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 nom. Well, he's giving his brain a little nom noms. Do we know for a fact that this isn't just how people die in this universe? Because I'm trying to think through the people that we have seen die.
Wait. You're saying that if she had killed the hot dad and his daughter, they would have exploded in a puff of green smoke because that's just the rules of this world.
I don't know that it would be green specifically. I assume whatever faction you belong to, you changes the color of smoke you explode into.
So it would have been like white or red smoke for them?
Yeah, I think it would have just been like a nice chartreuse, I think would be.
You are correct that we have no evidence to believe otherwise except for like reality.
Yeah.
But other than that.
But in reality, a blind man can't jump off a big building and land on the ground and be okay. So
that's true.
Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? I'm just thinking I want to engage this because I look at you, I'm seeing you looking at your notes. And I want to engage my idea here because I'm thinking through Daredevil. We see exactly one guy really die in Daredevil. And no, wait, that's not true. The old lady didn't turn into a puff of smoke in the airplane.
We're debunked. It was
Okay.
fun while it lasted.
Well, cool. Anyway,
Myth busted. You know what? I'm just gonna go with that though. I just really like
Okay.
the idea that anybody in this universe who dies just turns into puffs of green smoke.
I mean, it takes a bit for people to asphyxiate, so maybe we just didn't see it. We didn't see her die.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe she just ate a peanut and got sleepy.
Yeah. How do we feel about Tattoo Boy, who can summon animals from his tattoos?
Okay, see, this is what I wanted to talk about from the
I
beginning. Is all the boys
pretty cool.
To all the boys I've killed before is the segment we're gonna call
To all
this.
the boys I've killed before. I want to rank them. I want to rank them in terms
Yes,
of
let's
coolness.
rank them. I know
Okay.
some of their names. So we have Typhoid Mary, we have Stone, and Tattoo.
I think that's it. I think that's all of them.
By that I mean we have a comic book character and two people that they couldn't be fucked with.
I think least cool is
It's not even close, right?
Typhoid Mary.
It's Typhoid Mary, absolutely. She's the worst.
Not cool at all. She can't. Her powers are like the moment when she walks through the plants and they all die. That was cool, but her power is literally just get close enough to the person that they just die from proximity.
Right, which is
And
like
that's not a cool power.
I could call myself Typhoid Knifey, and it doesn't like change anything if I get close enough to knife somebody.
And then you could, yeah, it would have been more interesting if it was like Lady Deathstrike and she had claws on her fingers that she could stab people with.
Yeah, that sure, that would have been cool.
Second least cool, Stone.
See, now this is where we're gonna take two different paths. I'm gonna take the road
'Cause
less traveled.
You like Stone more than Tattoo?
Stone is the best character in this movie.
Oh god!
And it's
Stone
not.
doesn't even say anything.
It's not even close. He's the biggest dude I've ever seen. And I thought that last time when I saw Kingpin, but now Stone, biggest man in the world. He gets crushed by his own tree, which is objectively hilarious.
It is very funny. I
I
like that he shatters like a porcelain doll when the
I
tree falls on him.
fucking love that he shatters like a porcelain doll when a tree falls on him. It's the most satisfying death in this movie. It's a thing where like he's fighting Elektra and he hits the tree and she's like climbing up the tree and you think she's gonna jump off the tree and kill him in some cool way, and then the tree, she doesn't do anything.
No.
She just stays on the tree
No,
and the tree
just
kills
falls.
him.
If a tree falls in the middle of the forest and Elektra is climbing up the top of it, does it shatter a man?
If a tree
And I think we all know the answer.
If a tree shatters a stone man in the middle of a woods, does it make a Elektra?
And Elektra's the only one to hear it. Does it make for an exciting movie? No, it does not.
See, I disagree. I was locked in for this scene.
I love that moment. Is such a good example of the way that she does action, which is to say awkwardly, and the way the movie is cut, which is to say ploddingly. It is so, there is no sense of momentum of that tree. There is no like acceleration of the tree falling down faster and faster. It is all done through the most like, it's like cut, motion, cut, motion, cut, motion, cut, motion. Like it's so badly paced right then.
For sure. The problem that I have is that you think that Tattoo is the coolest one when his powers are
I think Tattoo's the
stupid.
coolest one. His powers are dumb, but they look cool when he does them.
Do they?
I like watching.
Do they?
They
Because
absolutely
John,
do.
John, as someone who has said how much you love bad texture mapping on early 2000s CGI,
yeah,
you should love this.
I do.
This is your bread and butter.
I do love this. It gives me the juice. I really like Stone. I can't be.
Like,
I can't be boxed in here, Lincoln. I like a good rubbery CGI as much as or more than the next guy. But there's just something
Definitely
about
more.
there's something about
Maybe
Stone.
not as much as us two guys. You can love Stone, but you
do.
cannot deny the pure 2000s greasiness of this man like vibrating as a wolf is birthed out of his sternum
Sure.
from a tattoo.
Yeah, it is greasier than a Jack in a Box. I'll give you that.
And it's so funny how I love how the eagle like can look around on his chest and like its eye can move.
Okay, yes.
I love when he sends all the snakes out. I love when he gets killed by throwing a knife like 700 yards. Or who does get killed by throwing a knife through a million bushes? Typhoid Mary gets killed by throwing a knife through a million bushes, and it doesn't lose any momentum as it goes. It's awesome.
I will say it is funny. There's a bit where the eagle from his chest becomes an eagle on a wall, and you're like, I'm not sure I understand what this movie is anymore.
I don't really know where we are in the chronology of this movie. How did you feel about the quote-unquote twist that Abby was the treasure? Nothing? I didn't feel anything either.
No,
that's about all I had to feel about it. I mean, I don't know that anybody was surprised.
I wasn't surprised. I was disappointed because it's like, this is maybe the least interesting character in the movie for me is Abby. She's got nothing going on. She's a kleptomaniac. That is it. And then at some point she just starts whipping around a chain like she's the fucking Ghost Rider. And I don't like it, and it doesn't look good, and it doesn't look bad in a fun way. It's just really not cool to watch, and there's like an element of child acting that I think has never worked for me. And
it's the I'm an actor, so I have to overact everything.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm acting.
It's that thing where it's like, I get that you're a kid, and I fully understand that, but like, kids are humans, so why are you playing it like E.T. in a skin suit? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree. Here's my question for you then. Do you think the movie would have been more interesting if Elektra really was the treasure all along?
I think it would have been more interesting if it was Daredevil 2, the sequel to Daredevil, and we got Daredevil to come back,
Devil.
And Bullseye comes
Double
back.
Daredevil.
Actually, you know what? I will say this movie is
okay.
missing
No, John,
Bullseye.
It's called Double Dare.
Double
Dare.
Daredevil.
Double Dare Daredevil.
Daredevil 2 Double D's, and it's.
And then Daredevil 3 Double D's nuts.
Yeah, Daredevil Double 3D.
Directed by Robert Rodriguez. Oh, that would kick ass.
That'd be so cool.
Robert Rodriguez directed Daredevil movie would be so cool.
That'd be sweet. I would love that.
My brother and sister were watching what's that? What's the anime movie about a robot girl and it's Astro Boy but a girl?
Oh, Alita.
What's that? Alita Battle Angel.
Whoa, crazy that Preston was able to pull that. Holy shit, no fucking way. Everybody take a second to pause, appreciate the momentous historic thing that just happened, where Lincoln said, what's that weird kinky anime movie? And Preston was like, oh, certainly Alita Battle Angel.
Wait, John, I think I did not say kinky.
You did, though. You implied it.
Absolutely. That's what?
You said, what's that anime movie? Asterisk. I heard the asterisk, and the asterisk was kinky.
When I told them that movie was directed by Robert Rodriguez, they were like, oh, it all makes sense. It all comes together now.
It really is he's a special guy, and he's made some special things.
How has he made From Dusk Till Dawn and also Spy Kids 3D?
Yeah, there is that for sure. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more through line between those two than we like to admit.
No, there really isn't, though. There's like, in terms of a chronology.
Not in chronology, but in the sense that both are movies with the exact same sensibility and a completely different rating. But both are movies that are like, wouldn't it be fun if, and that's the movie. It's just like a guy going around being like, wouldn't it be fun if an old man fought a big robot? And guess what? You, for just a second, didn't know which movie I was talking about, did you? You had to think about it. And I think that's important. I think that's telling.
Anyways, back to a worse movie than both of those movies. Elektra. It's bad. I like the third act though. I enjoy the battle with all the sheets flying around. It reminded me of being at a Kohl's as a child and like running through all the
Sure. And when you fought your mortal enemy in a bunch of sheets.
I fought my mortal enemy in a bunch of sheets at a Kohl's.
Yeah.
That mortal enemy was getting lost and having to find my mom because I accidentally followed around the wrong mom for like 15 minutes.
For sure. You
and
grabbed the
looked up
jeans
and realized
it was like, you're not my real mom.
Those are not my mom's jeans.
Did I ever tell you guys that I got into a car that wasn't my parents' car, and it like after school, and I just got
No.
into a car, sat in the back seat, and I was like, "All right, let's go." And this lady
Was
was
it the
like,
same? Was it the same kind of car?
"Yeah, it was the same kind of car." And this lady was like, "Hey, you aren't my guy." And I looked up, and it was the most traumatizing, horrifying moment. And she was like, "Look, so you're gonna have to get out of my car because you're not my kid, but would you like a cheese stick?" And I was like, "Well, hell yeah, I want a cheese stick. I've just been through the most upsetting moment of my entire human existence. Of course I want a fucking
She
cheese
just had a
stick,
cheesesteak
Janice."
ready. She's had a cheesesteak ready.
Yeah, it was after school, and she was like, "I brought snacks for my kids."
Oh yeah, of course it was the cheesesteak hour. You know when we all bring our cheesesteaks
Oh,
to
what?
school
Like
to
you
give to
didn't get
our
an
children.
after-school snack, you privileged fuck?
And after two, wait, what? This woman's got cheesesteaks.
Cheese
This woman's
stick.
melting cheese. Oh, I thought you said
No!
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, she's
little
got a
kid,
whole
do you want a
ass Philly
hot,
cheese
just
steak.
like a piping, steaming hot Philly cheesesteak
I was
that I just
imagining
happen to
sauteed
have
onions
with me?
and provolone cheese.
Do you want a cheesesteak? It's me, cousin from the bear. I'm your real mom now.
Do you want a
Yeah, I know,
cheesesteak?
I
I
just
only
imagined
have
my real name is
provolone. I'm
cousin.
sorry.
I'm sorry, that's all I have.
With or without onions.
I cut the crust off the bread just how you like it.
Wait, the
Okay,
crust of
John.
a cheesesteak, which is all of the bread?
It's no bread. I'm just handing you a wet pile of steak and cheese.
Big
I'm just
slap
imagining-
of steak and cheese.
This kid
What
like
is
get
this? It is
into
a
his
cheese
mom's
steak.
car and then looking out
Cheese
the
comma
window
steak.
and then seeing John just like on the sidewalk eating this kid's Philly cheesesteak that was meant for
Guys,
him.
it was a
Where the fuck did you get that, John? Who gave that to you? Don't eat someone else's cheesesteak. Where'd you find that? Did you find it on the ground? Did you find it underneath the red slide? Where did you find it?
It was a cheese stick, you guys. A regular cheese stick for boys.
So
a
when you got
standard-
in your actual
standard issue
parents' car,
cheesecake.
were you just like
Cheese
eating your
stick.
cheese
Fuck.
stick?
What?
Did you eat your cheese stick right then and there? Did you like get in your actual parents' car and then eat the cheese
No,
stick?
yeah,
Or
I-
it was like, hey
I
John,
ate
where'd
it
you
in
get that cheese stick?
I ate it in her car, yeah.
And then you got out?
I didn't feel like that was... It would have been rude to not. It would have been rude to just take
What
cheese
did
stick
you
and run.
So wait, we'll walk
Yeah,
it back. Okay,
she
so
invited
I
me
am a
in.
mother. I am a mother. I'm picking up my kids from an elementary school. My car doors. I'm parked. My car's unlocked, ready for them to step in. I hear the door open. In walks a chubby little be-haired fellow named Jonathan. He sits down, looking right as rain.
Yeah, just a
I
little
turn
chonker.
around. I look around, and it's not my kid. It's Jonathan, and I say, "You're not my kid. You're gonna have to leave this car and find your parents' car. But in the meantime, would you like a cheese stick?"
Mm-hmm.
And he says yes. Proceeds to stay seated as he carefully unpeels the wrapping.
Here's the thing.
Was it like a string cheese too? So you're just like peeling your
Yeah.
cheese
How
stick,
many
eating
how
it
many
like
strings
little
did you
bit
take
by
before you
little
started
bit?
just chomping away at it?
Guys, okay, these are all valid questions. Yes, it was a string cheese. And yes, I tended to eat string cheese pretty methodically. And I think it's important that we all just kind of acknowledge together in this moment that I had fucking social anxiety. This lady offered me a cheese stick, and I thought it would be rude to take it and run.
But your social anxiety was like, this moment that just scared you. Let's just hang out here for a little while.
Well, it was a
Let's
fight.
just explore the space.
There's many options to
Hey,
trauma.
the AC's on.
It's fight, flight, flee, or eat the cheese stick.
John, I'm pretty sure flee and flight mean the same thing.
I don't think so. Can we go to this other thing we do, please?
Can we just appreciate for a
No,
moment
can we
here
just go to the other
that
fucking segment,
a
Preston?
Fine, you're
stupid fucking
funny,
story about
'cause maybe
John
now this
walking into a
podcast will be
random
good.
stranger. Lincoln, shut up. We're not there yet. A stupid story about John walking into a stranger's car and eating a cheese stick is more entertaining than Elektra.
That John, that is such a credit to your charisma, is that you intruded into another mother's car, like a cuckoo bird's egg, invading the nest, and you still managed to get a cheese stick out of this.
It's not. I don't think I should get any credit for this. I think I was like starting to cry, and she felt bad about it. I wasn't doing well in this moment. Anyway, I've got a game for you boys to distract from some of our current discomfort. And do you all have some paper out that I didn't warn you about?
I can get some.
I can acquire
Okay.
paper.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
that,
good.
That would be really helpful.
Oh, I'll put it on the same page as I put my notes for this movie.
Thank you for being so sacrificial with your precious notebooks.
That's really helpful. We appreciate it. I guess I'm gonna need some paper too. I'll deal with that later. Who needs it? So what I've concocted for you boys is the game Hangman. So
Okay.
I'm gonna read out to you some dashes, spaces, and a little bit of punctuation. And
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to write all this down and get it exactly right. And then we're gonna play a little round of Hangman.
Are you Preston? Bringing in such a visual game.
Yeah. Well, what I like about this is that I'm gonna read it out. We're not gonna edit any of that, so it's gonna be sort of a play along at home kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, sweet.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you both so ready?
I am so ready.
Okay.
Ready.
I'm gonna hit you with I'm gonna say dash, and you know what that means. You mean that means one
Wait,
letter.
I actually
yeah?
I have a question.
Okay,
Preston, are we doing where we draw the noose right away and then we draw the person underneath it, or are we drawing the whole gallows as we go? You know what I mean?
That's an important point, John.
That is important. Get the noose ready.
I kind of want to draw the gallows now.
Obviously, yeah.
Okay,
Dude, it's-
Preston, what's your support structure like? I'm just using two little 45-degree beams joined.
Lincoln, the game
at
is
the
called
top.
Hangman, not Hangman and Apparatus. Like,
Well, I'm just worried that Preston's is gonna fail if we put too much weight on it.
You're
'cause it has
thinking.
a lot of
hang
right
on,
angles.
hang on. I see. We're going
draw
for
it.
structural.
just draw a
Yeah.
little guy.
Structural
You guys
here.
don't understand what you're doing to the game that I've created. You don't understand how long I'm gonna draw this out for you.
I think we perfectly understand it. We just don't want to get to it.
Yeah, there might be that.
Decided
also.
that mine needed an extra suspension element.
I just feel like it's important to mention that I have this and I have another sort of subsequent Find Your Funny.
I'm gonna add some cable stays to mine.
And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. I'm going to do both of them, and we're gonna have to finish talking about Elektra. So it's like, Preston, if you want to get somewhere tonight,
Hey John, quit your bitching and moaning and get to the thing.
I'm not bitching and moaning.
Whoa! Oh no, we've turned on each other.
No, yeah, we have. Okay, are you ready? Ready to write this down?
Yes.
Dash, 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 space, dash, 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 comma, space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash, dash, space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash, 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 space, dash dash space dash
Wait.
dash 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 space dash 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 space dash dash space dash space dash 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 space dash 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 apostrophe dash
John, I ran out of fucking room
space.
on my paper.
dash 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 period.
Okay, the last word is Spider-Man.
Okay, there's no hyphen. There's an apostrophe.
Oh, sorry, never mind.
It's okay.
Hey, John. I'm gonna need to redraw this, leaving room
Okay,
for the
I can read
entire
it out to you again if you
encyclopedia
want.
here.
No, wait, John, I have another. How are you expecting to tell us which letters go where once we guess the letter?
Don't worry about that.
So John, my brother of the
Better
evening.
thought out than others.
Will
How are we
you?
gonna know? Are you gonna be like, there's an A on the second dash, and the fourth dash of the third word, and the third dash of the eighth word?
Pretty much. Guess the
Well-
letters, Chuckle Fox.
Will you go?
You do have a camera.
Individual
You
word.
can just show us this game.
I can't.
Will you go
It's the
individual
problem.
word by individual word and just say how many dashes are in each
Okay,
word?
yeah, I can do that. That's a good. Okay, so word 1, 3. Word 2, 1, 2.
Hang on. Hey, you slow your ass down. All right, word 1, 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want it to go longer before we play the
Do you know how
fucking
long it
game?
takes to draw
Preston?
3 dashes?
Not that long. Okay, so 3 for word
No.
1.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for word 2, and then a comma.
4,
Okay,
5,
yes.
6, 7, comma.
This is so
Then,
dumb.
then 4 for word 3.
Okay.
Then 5 for word 4. Are you ready?
Yeah.
2 for word whatever that is. 2 for the next one.
Yep.
4, 3, 3, 5, 8, 3,
This is so dumb.
3, 4, 2, 7, 4.
This is so stupid.
2,
How is this gonna work? I don't understand
1.
how we're gonna have to go through this every time we guess a letter.
3, 6 apostrophe and then a 7th.
Wait, 6 apostrophe.
Well, 7
Then
total,
7
but
more.
apostrophe before the last one.
Okay.
And then 3 for the last one. Does anybody have a...
Okay, E.
This is the
Okay.
dumbest fucking thing you've ever
This-
thought of. I'm just going to get that out of the way right now.
Okay. Lincoln, you guessed E, so the first word, the second letter is an E.
This is gonna take so long.
The 10th word, the last letter is an E.
4, 5, 6, 7. The one with 3 dashes.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe I counted wrong. 2, 3, 4. No, I counted right. The 10th one with 1, 2, 3, 4 with 5 dashes. That's the 5th one is a E.
The fifth word?
5th letter of the 10th word, obviously Preston.
Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 5th letter
Yeah.
of the 10th word. 1, 2,
Uh-huh.
3, 4, 5.
Obviously.
Obviously. You know, John,
Is that it? Is it the only 2?
Oh,
there would be
no,
a
okay,
real
so the
simple way
11th
to do
word-
this, where you draw the fucking board for us, and then we just get to look at
Just
your
tell us
screen as you fill this out.
The 4th letter of the 11th word is an E.
The third?
I literally am not gonna count. I'm not gonna do this, John.
You have to.
I already lost
You-
track. I have the wrong amount of dashes.
You,
You know
must.
what?
Okay,
Hey,
Preston,
John, you
yeah,
already prepared another Find Your Funny.
fight.
Why are we pushing
That
so
could
hard with this one?
Not possibly be shittier than this one. So why don't
We
you cut
care
your
about
fucking
you.
losses?
We care about
Fine.
you.
Fine. You guys are so mean. You don't even care about me. This is a good game.
No, John, we care about
This is a
you.
good, well
Just
thought
not
out
your
game.
stupid fucking
You're
games.
not enjoying.
If John, if you would like to play this game, why don't you draw it out and then hold it up
Okay,
like
hang
this
on.
your camera?
Okay, I'll do that. Let me get paper. Hold on.
Now he's got to do this whole terrible idea. We're saying this because we care. We're not saying this because we're mad. We're saying this because we literally cannot play the game.
I have to go
Lincoln,
get
I'm
paper.
mad.
Hold on, hang on.
I'm mad that I can't play the game.
Are you on your iPad right now on
Everybody
Discord?
shut the fuck up. I'm trying to get paper.
Wait.
Stop.
Wait, John, is Discord your iPad?
No.
What are you using for Discord right now?
My phone.
Ah, never mind.
It's okay. I got paper. I'm going to do it on the back of a Cthulhu poster. Okay.
Of course, you have a Cthulhu poster.
Hang on. Let me write all this shit down. I wasn't expecting to have to do this.
Oh, but you'll make us do it, sure. Ugh.
This is a long game. Why did you guys do this?
Why did you do this? You made us write all
I'm
this
gonna cut my
fucking
losses.
bullshit twice.
It's fine. It's fine. I have a backup. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I was gonna do two anyway. So, yeah, it was gonna be so. So I have something cool to share with you guys. I've done sort of a book report that I feel like the energy is going to be a little challenging on now and after what I thought was kind of a shoe-in fun game. But it's a segment that I am calling Johnson on the Street, and Almighty Johnson's recap show.
Oh, yay.
So Preston, there's some backstory here that you might not know. Hang on, I gotta close this door. Got it. All right. So Preston, there's some background that you might not have known about this. Lincoln and I were walking through a building that happens to have a free take whatever you want thing where people can leave a thing and take a thing, and it's usually like dumb music or whatever. But we found a Blu-ray of all three.
It's usually a vast category of high quality classical music.
Yeah, boring dog
to be
shit,
clear.
like I said. And we found a Blu-ray collection of the show The Almighty Johnsons, a thing I didn't know existed, and I am so delighted to bring to you guys for the next 30 times we do this.
Oh no.
It's about 10 episodes a season, and this will be...
Is it too late to go back to Hangman?
So, Almighty Johnsons, Season 1, Episode 1, we open on a meteor shower. It's a beautiful rendition of some pretty bad CGI meteors. We meet Axel Johnson, who almost gets hit by a car, but the driver is hot, so he invites her to his birthday party. I'm going to jump through this as fast as I can because we've got a lot to get through, and I feel like it's important that you guys understand the concept of the show.
So is there a game in here? Or?
No, there's not a game.
He's
It's a
just
book
telling us
report.
about it.
So, so then we jump
This is really
right
working
on
well
over
to find our funny.
We jump right on over from Axel to Ty, who is just getting friend zoned. He's really mad about it. He thinks that he's into this girl, and she is not into him. She says they should be friends. So he freezes a glass of wine with his hands, and we're all like, huh? Excuse me? What is this? The X-Men? You know?
Okay.
Then we jump on over to Anders. This is the first many scenes in this episode are just kind of introducing us to random characters doing random stuff. It was really hard to take notes because it's not good and doesn't make any sense. Something I should note, this is a New Zealand show. It's a Kiwi show, and I didn't know that going into it, which was a hugely welcome surprise. However, I also forgot that Kiwi rules for what you're allowed to put on television are very different from American rules. So this is a horny ass show, and I didn't know that it was going to be that. So we just get to deal with that. So we go meet Anders. He talks his way into sex with this girl, and you think, I don't know about this. This seems kind of creepy. And guess what? It is. Surprise. Back at the party, Axel and this hot girl make out on a trampoline, which is right after they are shot jumping on the trampoline. And it's like the camera does maybe the worst thing I've ever seen a cameraman do, which is like go vertically up and down to try to keep up with them jumping on a trampoline. Which really is just...
They didn't just like back up and frame it
No,
wider?
they didn't. They're really close up. Just like, I got kind of motion sick watching it. So that's rough. But then they start making out on a trampoline. She pulls out a knife from her boot, which was crazy. And she is about to stab Axel, which obviously we're all like, not this guy. We love Axel. He's my favorite guy. And then a massive earthquake hits. There's a big earthquake, and we get this montage where we're watching a bunch of people, like all these characters that we've been introduced to. Preston, you look so bored right now, but I promise it's going to get crazy. You're going to get so mind blown that you're going to be like, I can't wait for next time I get to hear more about Johnson's.
Yeah, we're having this is a rough go. This is a dark moment in our podcast history.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
We thought
So-
Scooby-Doo was bad.
It's good. So there's
We have dipped even lower.
guys, I promise, just engage with the fiction. It's crazy. So there's a big earthquake. We watch a
John,
bunch
I
of
am
people
trying
having
so
sex while the
hard.
earthquake happens. The next day, Ty's running and he sees that the ocean is blood, which is crazy. Like, why would the ocean be blood? That doesn't make any sense. He calls Mike, a guy we haven't met until now. Mike, I thought for a really long time was the dad, but turns out he's actually not the dad. He's the older brother, because we find out later that the dad ran away of this family. And Mike has sort of become the surrogate dad, but he's just the oldest brother. He's married to a human woman.
Are we supposed to know? Are we supposed to keep all these people in our head? Because I don't remember a single name that you've said so far.
It's all good. You'll get it. We got a lot of episodes. You'll remember them eventually. So Axel,
Hey,
no,
John,
I'm sorry. We go.
Can we get to the point?
No. He's already losing track of the Almighty Johnson.
Is there a point?
There is a point. I promise this is how the episode feels. What you're experiencing is how I experienced the episode. It was really a lot of like.
Isn't this part of the portion of the episode that's traditionally called Find Your Funny? Because
This is the part of the portion of the episode where I gave you funny and you didn't do fuck all with it. So now you get this. Now this is what you get.
This is the portion of the episode where we were laughing really, really hard at your expense. And you said, I would rather them not laugh at all than laugh at me.
I wanted to punish you for
we
that.
We really had found, we could have cut
the beach
in
where
right
we meet
before your
Cousin
story
Olaf.
about
Cousin Olaf is having sex with a lady and he
a
goes,
cheese
hey,
stick.
what
We could have
time
grafted
is it?
in Lincoln's
And she
Find Your
goes,
Funny
it's
music.
Thursday or whatever.
It would have been
the fuck. And
great.
he's like,
We
oh,
were laughing.
shit,
We
I
were
gotta
having
go.
fun.
So he goes
we would
to
have found our
Johnson's
funny.
house.
And no,
Axel
now we have to
is
play
once
a
again
stupid fucking game of
almost run
Hangman.
over by a car, which
Listen
feels
to
important
John
to me.
ramble
This is
on
the second time
about
in
the
like 20
Johnsons
minutes
that nobody has
the
ever seen,
almighty
nor will ever
Johnsons.
see, nor give a
Preston,
shit about.
Preston, I'm trying to tell you about the Almighty Johnsons.
Sorry, I'm listening now.
Axel has almost run over a car by his brothers. They take him to the woods to, quote, meet his grandfather, which he's like, I don't have one of those. And they're like, well, we'll see. Surprise, bitches.
Hey, John, have you ever given a book report before?
He's Axel's grandfather. And also
you
the
would
human
know that a good book
incarnation.
report traditionally would provide some sort of commentary upon the book instead of
giving you
simply
commentary.
regurgitating the book at your classmates.
It's kind of boring,
This
but
isn't
then
a book.
it's kind of boring. But guess what, guys? Here's my commentary. It's getting interesting.
John, imagine
in this scene.
John, imagine if someone walks in the front of the class and they're like, "Here's my book report for The Great Gatsby." So there's a guy named Nick, and he gets really into studying, and then he like hears about a party that's happening, and then he goes over there, and then he learns about this guy named Gatsby, and then they like do some parties for a while.
The plot so
and
that I
then
can
turns out
give you a
she's
couple
in
of thoughts
love
on the
with-
episode, Lincoln. I'm trying to get there for you.
And then swearing that there's going to be interesting things, and then he goes, okay, so then we get to the end and Gatsby gets shot in a pool and then he dies, and that's my book report.
Lincoln, can I mention something actually to Lincoln and Preston? The longer you make this happen, the longer we have to wait to talk to more about Elektra, and the longer this episode is. So just let me get through my book report.
Here's the thing, Jonathan.
Fuck
Here's the thing,
me.
You
What,
are
Preston?
I get to pick the next movie. Therefore, I am the de facto ender of this episode. Therefore,
I'm gonna.
No, you're not.
I can simply
but
mute you,
Here's
say
the
my
problem.
piece about the next
edit
movie
this
we're going to
episode.
watch.
Isn't that
And we
interesting?
can call
I
it
edit
a
the
day.
show.
How's
I
that?
edit the show, bitch. So They're in the woods. I promise this is
Preston,
where it's getting interesting. Guys, just listen to me about the Almighty Johnsons for 4 fucking seconds. I'm begging you.
What's the show
They're
called?
in the woods. The Almighty Johnsons. They're in the woods. Surprise, everybody.
Who's in the
Olaf,
woods?
the guy who was having sex. Everybody, all the Johnsons are in the woods. Every one of them.
Okay.
And they're having
surprise,
sex
Olaf
during an earthquake?
They're not having... okay. So Olaf is Axel's grandfather. That's the surprise. And turns out he's the human incarnation of Balder, the god of rebirth. And this is where it gets interesting, is because we find out that Axel's family is all human incarnations of Norse gods that ran away from a spiteful humanity to New Zealand. Okay? And that's where I got in on the show. Doesn't that sound fun for you guys? Don't fucking answer that. Mike is Ul, god of the hunt, archery, skiing, and games. Anders is Brahi, god of poetry. Ty is Hod, not sure how you pronounce it.
So is this just
god
like
of darkness and
extreme
winter.
Australian discount
Mike.
Percy Jackson?
All right, I'm going to skip some of this. So Axel gets struck by lightning while he's naked. He knocks out Olaf as the only person who can tell him who he is. He finds out that he is now a god. Also, we find out that maybe their mom is a tree. Don't worry about that. It probably won't come up. Olaf wakes up and tells them that there's a bunch of signs, earthquakes, seas of blood, etc., that point to Axel being Odin incarnate.
Yes.
There's a
Obviously.
fight at the party when a booze girl named Michelle tries to shoot Axel in the heart with an arrow, which ends up solving the final sign of the prophecy because he's supposed to have 2 hearts. And we're like, how does that work? Well, the tip of the arrow that shot him in the chest ends up kind of looking like a heart. That one was probably the weakest part of the show, to be honest with you. I don't know that it really kept me on board with that. But yeah, it's him. He's Odin. But here's the thing: the episode ends, and this is where I got fully sold on the show. The episode ends with Axel being given the quest. The quest is find Frigg, Odin's beloved, and the House of Odin will be restored to their full power because they're not right now. They don't have a lot of power. But if he dies, all of them die. So his stakes are high, and it's gonna be a hell of a show. There's your funny.
Wow. Thanks. I think we definitely have it now. Elektra is the cinematic equivalent of kind of choking on your water as you drink it.
I worked so hard for this. Find your funny, you guys.
Elektra is the cinematic equivalent of listening to your friend try to explain over a video call how to play Hangman with zero thought to how long the phrase would be and how long it would take. And
I gave
how
a lot of
good of an
thought.
idea it was.
That was part of the fucking joke of it all, is how long it is. Do you guys want to know what it was gonna say?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It was gonna say, "Hey Lincoln, comma, this movie sucks so much ass, and quite honestly, you can huff my fucking nuts on a hot summer's day." And that was gonna be funny when you guys figured that out.
But how did you expect us to know what letters to put? Did you think about that?
How did you expect us to? Hang on. Sorry, I'm gonna count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Elektra
Yes,
is the cinematic equivalent of the first time that you realize you might not be young enough to continue playing with action figures, and that kind of just sadness in your heart.
Elektra is the cinematic equivalent of when you're on a road trip as a kid and you're like, yay, we're off. And then your parents have to make some stop that's like 8 minutes away from your house. And so you feel like you got in the mood to be all ready to go. And then you have to stop again.
83 letters, John. How did you expect us to get 83 letters in like the 5 business minutes that we have to do a Find Your Funny?
A lot of them are repeats. So many of them. There's a lot of H's and U's. You would have gotten a lot of it, I bet.
I can't. You thought, you know what's better? You know what we need? An asynchronous, over a video call, 83 letter version of Hangman.
Yeah.
You could have shared your screen with us. You could have
held up a whiteboard.
I had it all.
You could have had a whiteboard. You could have just flipped your notebook around every once in a while to show us where we were at.
Sure.
You could have just made a grid and just told us letters 1 through 83, and we just number them off, and then we don't worry about the spaces because those will become obvious as we come up with the words.
Sure.
You could have not done that. You could have thought of something funny to find.
I thought of two funny
So,
things. I told you about the Almighty Johnsons. I called it Johnson on the Street, an Almighty Johnson's podcast.
Johnson on the Street's really good. It's very powerful. The problem is it's really I think we're discovering it's really hard to make a podcast about a show that the other two people have no reference or context.
I'm
for.
trying to give you the context. I'm trying to let you into the world of the Almighty Johnsons in like 2 minutes.
But instead of Johnson's on, I could just say, welcome to Nonsense on the Street, a show about almighty nonsense, and then just spout random words for 2 minutes, and then you two would react the exact same way. Oh, okay.
There's a comedy and an enjoyment to seeing this very niche piece of media through the lens of John Bonjour, because I'm the only one brave enough to put in the fucking Blu-ray.
Guys, as
right?
Lincoln, as much as I would love to keep just ragging on Jonathan, and Jonathan, as much as I would love to hear you continue to attempt to defend yourself, as we established earlier in the episode, Preston has a thing to do tomorrow that is very early and needs to wrap this up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got
You know
an
what's
equivalent
fucked up,
punishment?
though?
We each said one.
Really quick, you know what's fucked up? Really one quick thing.
What?
I'm going to
John?
keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing Johnson on the Street. And yeah, I know that right now you don't like it, but there will come a day where you look
watching
forward
Elektra is the
to Johnson
cinematic
on the
equivalent of Johnson on the Street, a Find Your Funny podcast inside of another podcast led by the one and only Evening Brother Jon.
Johnson on the Street,
the
a
next
Find Your Funny
movie
podcast
that
is actually better.
you
It's a
fine
better
gentlemen
title.
will be watching, since as we have already established, Lincoln just stuck his greasy little fingers inside my brain and stole Elektra from me. The next movie you
Squish,
shall be
squish.
watching. I hated that. Please don't ever say that again. The next movie we shall be watching is Death Race, which is a Jason Statham movie.
Yes,
from
the Jason
2008.
Statham one? Oh, fuck yeah, baby. This isn't punishment. This is joy. This is pleasure.
I have seen the trailer for Death Race on the DVD for Johnny Mnemonic.
I've seen the DVD for Death Race on the DVD for Death Race. This is a great movie.
I have
I'm
not
so
seen
excited to talk
a
about Death
trailer
Race.
nor on any form of physical media or digital media for that matter. And I feel like every time Death Race gets published to a new streaming service, it always gets recommended to me and I've never watched it. So this is my excuse to
That's
finally
not-
watch it and torture
That's a bad
both of
sign
you with
for
that.
you. It's not good that every streaming service you watch stuff on is like Death Race. Oh, he's going to really love that.
Thank you for attempting. You know what? If you made it this far, thank you
this
from the
is
bottom
my
of our
episode.
hearts.
Thank you for listening to the
Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour.
Wait,
I would
Preston,
also
this
like
is
to
my
sincerely
episode.
apologize to all of our listeners
Wait.
for having to listen to the absolute dog shit that was Attempted Hangman and also Meet the Johnsons or whatever John's bullshit was.
I will take
Brother
a mulligan
Preston.
on Hangman.
Relax body.
I will take the loss on Hangman. I will not take the loss on Johnson on the Street. Email us in. We have an email. This is important, Preston. You can't just start taking us out of the fucking podcast. All right. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 new emails for us that are all...
Okay, if they're about Netflix, we do not want to hear them.
Yeah, but one of them's really funny. One of them's really
Okay, say
funny.
it.
Okay,
Fine.
so...
Hey, John, none of the things that you have said today have been actually funny. So I'm a little...
That's fucked up to say to me. I've said some funny things. Maybe not all of them, but I've said some funny ones, Preston.
You've had like 4 funny things.
You're a
And then some
monster.
disastrously unfunny things
piece
that were
of
meant to
shit.
help us find
You're
your
the
funny.
worst person I know. I'm quitting this podcast. So it
Yes.
is funny because Netflix sent me a little sad face emoji, but it looks like he's sweating and he says, "Give us another chance." And that's funny. Anyway,
Thanks.
Ha!
I have been Brother Lincoln.
The
I could
energy
crash
was-
you from here.
The energy was just so good before. I don't know what
And
happened.
the guy who keeps
John,
going
before what?
on and on and
Before
can't
what?
stop talking is Brother John.
Before
Thank you
what?
and good night.
Before
I
what, John?
have been
Before
Brother
what was
John,
the
and
energy
just
so
by
good?
I have been Brother John, and just as we live by the rules of Dinotopia, so must we be prepared to die. Johnson on the street is never gonna die. We are eternal.
Before what?
Johnson's rise up.
Before what, John? Before what?
Everybody, if you like Johnson on the street, email us in because
Before what?
I think people are gonna really get behind this.
Before what?
I think they're gonna get really into this.
Before what, John? Before what?
And on those wise words, we end the show.
Fuck.